this means of transportation is unable to function without its essential and indispensable electromagnetic components. But also the mechanism of solar panels and wind power plants is unthinkable without inductive elements. Among medium-sized businesses, Sintermetalle Prometheus SMP, with 150 employees, belongs to the top 100 concerns of this kind in Germany. SMP has been a manufacturer of soft magnetic working parts for higher frequencies for as long as a quarter of a century.
Oh my God!
The sun is an immense source of energy for all life on the Earth, providing warmth, light and power. Yet at certain times, in quite specific positions, the light of the sun is consumed by the moon, a total eclipse of the sun ensues, and to witness this spectacle, many solar eclipse enthusiasts travel all around the world.
Das ist für mich so erkannt. Da kommen bald die Tränen. Mit der Sonne, ne?
Ja, Sie sind ja wahrscheinlich auch ein
Yes, you are also a solar eclipse freak. And what do you have to say about it? I don't have anything more to say, but it was really wonderful. In 1999, we were near Stuttgart and stood in the rain, and now we've seen it here under optimal conditions. That's great. The core and molded parts, as well as the inductive component, are composed from a special metallic compound. Electrical engineering without soft magnetic components these days is unthinkable. SMP's contribution to their development is and has always been vitally important. For SMP, renewable energy is a central aspect of the company's industry, its main turnover being concerned with the production of chokes. SMP possesses a UL accredited installation system. In order to keep up a constantly high quality, SMP, according to the German industrial standard, was certified in 1993 as one of the concerns in this field at ISO 9001, and at present is rated at ENSIO 9001-2000. Special chokes are equipped with protective grade IP66, which can also withstand extreme climatic conditions. The firm SMP, Sintermetalle Prometheus, has its headquarters in Graben-Neudorf near Karlsruhe. Was founded in 1982 by Dr. Vassilios Gemenetsis and has established itself as one of the most important purveyors on the world market. Its founder gained a PhD in powder metallurgy in 1979 and accomplished a great deal of pioneering work in the compounding of alloys. Sometime in the future, both his sons will eventually take over the company. Where do the products come into operation? Not in consumer electrotechnology, but in industrial manufacture. Included are the so-called converter technology, airplanes and ships, drilling rigs and cranes, lifts and escalators. Everywhere electric motors are in use. Rail mechanism, trains, tramcars and buses. Medical appliances, including computer tomography, and in renewable energy, wind and solar plants. In space travel, some collectors are also incorporated. One only has to take a look at the countless satellites which are orbiting around the world. SMP products are similarly also represented in outer space. Just as satellites circle around the globe, so does the Earth and planets of the solar system orbit around the Sun. which in its turn, together with countless other stars, hurtles around the central bulge of our galaxy. The universe consists of billions of galaxies. In our galaxy alone, the Milky Way, are 50 billion stars, which exude a tremendous amount of energy. In the galactic nebula, young stars are born. They die out within several billion years when they reject their exterior gas masses or end their lives as supernovas in gigantic explosions. New stars are then formed out of their remains. One of these stars is our Sun, which has actually been sending light, heat and energy to the Earth for as long as 4.5 billion years. If we were to cover 30% of all the roofs in Germany with solar paneling, we could easily create substitutes for as many as 40 nuclear power stations. The Sun, having been associated with many demigods, has been worshipped since time immemorial. In ancient Egypt, it was the god Re. In portrayals, the god is represented by a falcon with a sun-like halo above his head. Sol was the name the Romans gave him. The Greeks knew him as Helios. His task was to drive the sun chariot across the heavens. Prometheus, on the other hand, created humanity and brought fire down to the earth. In order to honor the firebringer, Prometheus, the company founder has included his name in the designation of the firm SMP, calling it Sintermetalle Prometheus. Due to their fascination for the goings-on in outer space, the Gemenetsis family runs a private observatory on the roof of the company building. With the aid of a special telescope, they observe our donor of energy, the Sun, in great detail. Family Gemenetsis is especially intrigued by the continuous metamorphosis of our Sun. The Sun hurls hot eruptions into space, which reach a magnitude 20 times the size of the Earth. The mass of exuded material is hurled along the Sun's magnetic field lines. The interesting thing in this respect is the analogy of SMP production to the Sun itself, for the Sun reveals the same characteristics that an enormous spool possesses. On those places where the Sun's magnetic fields overlap each other, the surface of the Sun cools down and sunspots appear. In the evening, family Gemenetsis prepare their equipment in order to try and penetrate the infinite regions of the universe. SMP works on a so-called extreme production minimum. This means that everything from the ferruginous powder on the spool to the completed choke is manufactured within the firm itself. Therefore, SMP is able to pander to the individual wishes of its customers. According to particular demands, working materials, cores, molded parts, as well as individual component elements, but also highly integrated systems up to and including complete filters, are conceived and manufactured in this manner. The material, in this respect, is the be-all and end-all of the company. Ferrous powder, together with a special alloy, is refined and made into a functional magnetic component. By being put into a special press machine, the powder is then compressed into molded parts. The molded parts are still quite fragile and therefore have to be tempered. One floor above, several colleagues process the coils into spools of varying sizes. In order to produce meticulously finished articles, indispensable in many areas of everyday living, the employees have to utilize a certain amount of flair and finesse. The spools are then inserted into their molds and then hermetically sealed with a special resin. Finally, a coat of enamel gives it the finishing touch. But before reaching the supply depot, each article undergoes an intensive test. The chokes are examined to see whether they withstand certain pressures and whether they fulfill optimal classifications. For a certain test, a routine team of 2 has proven itself capable, in that it checks that all evaluations are registered and that serial numbers are correctly categorized. The SMP chokes boast of a more minimized loss than other traditional chokes. The total cost of an SMP choke pays its way because when in a 6-month period 5% less power than usual is expended, that is hard cash.